How's it, everyone? I've recently been thinking about the Isle, thanks to Orny's new video about the Isle's development history, and my new video where I played it in VR, which to my knowledge, no one has ever done before, so I'm gonna capitalize off of this and tell you to go watch that after this video. The game has been in development for over 10 years. I have over 800 hours on the game and talk about it a lot, so I felt inclined to take a look into why it has taken so long. During the history of the Isle of Rima, we've seen countless different roadmaps, and almost every single time the roadmap is immediately disregarded or ignored among being released. These roadmaps often end up being completely inaccurate to the release order, or even seemingly the development order that the game is taking. The first roadmap was a roadmap that showed plenty of dinosaurs soon after release, was then followed by an updated roadmap that saw mechanics get pushed to coming before the playables, and then both were scrapped. It wasn't a while until we would finally see a new roadmap, being in video format, which was soon scrapped again. I unfortunately do not remember it like it was yesterday, when they said that the burrowing system was almost done. That was around 2020, and we still haven't seen the burrowing system, let alone received it. I also remember a time when it felt like Magyarosaurus was going to come soon. And even though I prefer that we are getting Camarasaurus first, it's still insane that we just randomly stopped hearing from it after it was seemingly so far into development. The absolute core thing that the Isle needs to do in order to get right is actually sit down for a few days and figure out what they want to do and in what order. Preferably, at least the first half can become public information. A game at this scale simply can't work in such an indecisive way. It makes development times abysmal, and I could list the reasons why, or I could just refer back to the point that the Isle has been in development for over 10 years. I'll make a separate video on what I think the roadmap should look like, because I think it would take a long time to discuss, and I also want to capitalize on the extra views. The Isle's developers need to stop being so indecisive as a whole. Existing features always get the most random and unnecessary changes. The main menu randomly changing to an unfinished one that still hasn't gotten updated more in months is a great example of this. I don't even think the new main menu is bad. It just doesn't make sense to have changed it. And the color options don't even change upon exiting the game. And for some reason, the color options don't even carry on into the in-game UI, basically rendering the entire thing pointless. Another example is the underwater vision for semi-aquatic animals. There was really good underwater vision until one sad afternoon where the Isle developers decided we can't have any fun anymore and basically decided to make it so that you can't see crap underwater as a water animal, which is terrible. If I'm not mistaken, it was slightly improved during the Horde test, but it's still abysmal and shows more lack of commitment. Another water-related example is the rivers and lakes being changed to being a somewhat lagoon color instead of the previous colors, which looked amazing. To my knowledge, it still remains bad compared to the previous versions, and is once again a great example of being indecisive. There was also other stuff, like not doing the nesting grounds properly, so just scrapping them as a quick fix, and much more. Most of the heavy lifting for the negative parts of the Isle would be covered in just those 2 points being improved alone. Since I'm capitalizing off of the Isle and making another video on what I think the roadmap should be, I'll just say in short that the Isle needs to be done in a more intelligent order that can make the game feel as finished as soon as possible, so that even if the game isn't finished, it could still feel that way. I'll just put a wild guess and say in under 3 years from now, if they focused on the same stuff. I would love to hear your feedback on the new style of videos of playing video games in the background of them. I thought it would be a lot more interesting than just putting a repeating clip of the Isle's trailer like a lot of discussion videos do. I also appreciate if you got this far, please like and subscribe. I also highly recommend checking out Orny's video, which I will link in the description. My main inspiration to make this video relies heavily on my love for the game and hearing a lot of the things that he had mentioned in that video. With all that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.